Today is a big day. I almost opened this up without you, but since this is for you, I thought I should probably do it on camera and show you what I got here. Quite a bit ahead of schedule. I've been tracking, I took half the day off and I've been tracking this thing for the last 4 hours. Amazon guy in a Prius finally delivered it, but literally 4 hours ago it drove down my street and I'm there on the front porch waiting for it and I just watched it go by. So 4 hours later, at it's almost 8 o'clock at night, it has arrived. This is my new laptop. Well, another box inside of a box. This is the third box. Guess I can't complain. I don't want it to get damaged. Woo-wee. Look, you can get all this stuff off of it. Now, probably want to know a few of the specs on this. I don't know. I researched, read, watched a gazillion reviews. This is supposed to be the fastest, most powerful for the money. With the only thing lacking is screen quality. And compared to my 2013, it's 5 years old. It was only like $300. This is probably going to be a lot better. It's only a 1080p HD screen. Didn't go for 4K. It's not a touch screen. This is strictly for video editing. Here's a few of the specs for the computer nerds out there. VR ready. I won't be doing virtual reality. Certainly won't be becoming a gamer. Backlit keyboard. This lights up red. This processor is supposed to be pretty good. This is also supposed to be really good. It's got a whole bunch of numbers in it. 2 terabyte hybrid hard drive and a 256 gigabyte SSD hard drive. You're gonna jump off? You shake? Good girl. Can you do the other hand? Come on, shake this hand. Shake. Paw. Oh, almost. Come on, shake it. Good girl. So this might be the first part of a video that I've been planning to film tomorrow, which is a question and answer. Or this could get lost and never see the light of day, or go somewhere else. But I think I'm going to do the question and answer video tomorrow morning, or tomorrow night, maybe tomorrow afternoon. Signing the lease at noon. My dad's coming over at 4. We'll get it in sometime. Believe it or not, this is the second time I'm filming this video. I wore these new safety glasses throughout the entire video, and I just played it back and I couldn't take myself seriously. I didn't look like myself. I looked like some weirdo with dark, thick rim glasses. But these are the next safety glasses that I'm trying out, and I think they're about $29 to $39. I thought I was buying them from Bomber. They're Bomber glasses, the same brand that makes my sunglasses. These are called the Stink Bomb, and they are stamped BZ87 Plus. I can tell they've got some sort of coating on them because they're just the slightest yellow tint to them. But I can't. Looking at them now, nothing looks yellow. And what's interesting is I thought I was buying from Bomber, but the packing slip says Quality Distributing LLC. Who knows? Maybe it's some fake company that makes a gazillion websites and sells junk from China. I don't know. But they got foam on the inside. They float just like my sunglasses do. These foam pieces here also keep debris from going in around that way. But I will not be wearing them for the entire video. The first take was 40 minutes long. Crazy. I was like, holy cow, that's ridiculous. Start over. I've got a list of topics and questions. And I've got them into 2 groups. The first group applies to the large portion of the people who view this YouTube channel, and that is homeowners. New homeowners in the age of 30 to 40 years old, and men. That's who you are. There's like 8% are females. The majority of people are men in their 30s. That own a home. So that's what this first section is about. And question number 1 is, will you be my handyman? Every single day. And I politely say no. This YouTube channel really isn't about me promoting myself as a handyman to sell my services. No, I'm not. I mean, a lot of them from California. California has a shortage of handyman. I think it's pretty obvious that, I mean, it really describes the market. My videos, it's pretty obvious that I'm about making money. I'm not about giving away anything and giving bargains or deals or discounts. None of that. What I am about is repeat business. So step 1 is repeat business. That customer has to get high value for that dollar. Yeah, that gets the repeat business. So I guess in order to get the repeat business, you have to do a good job. Number 2 is got to get that money. So I charge as much as I can. But if I overcharge, they're not getting value for their money. So maybe that's why they, or you, have been contacting me every day to come to California. Like, people have offered to pay me to travel. I mean, man, is it that hard up out there? That brings me to the next question, is how do I find a handyman? And the reason it's hard to find a handyman is because there's just not very many good handyman out there. Handyman? We'll call them, I'm just going to use handyman. There is a very strong stereotype of a handyman. And I see it in the comments all the time. 1, you're not a handyman. 2, handyman are garbage people. Like, horrible things are said about handyman. They're drunks. They're convicted felons. The only reason they're a handyman is because no one else will hire them. They can't be a trim carpenter. They can't be an electrician. They can't be a plumber. They can't be a job site foreman or a superintendent. They can't, because they're worthless and they're dumb and they're just slackers, and they have alcohol problems, and they chain smoke. The fact is, that's true. And that's why I'm a handyman, is because it is so easy to get work, because that's my competition. And I believe that's why people are contacting me from around the country every single day to be their handyman. It is very unusual to go the career path that I went down to get to where I'm at. That should be a video in itself, probably titled "Why I'm a Handyman," and it'll get to the point that said, you know what, I'm sick of this. Kind of the next group of people I'm going to talk to are the people who want to be a handyman. But first we got to keep going down this list here. So how do you find one? Another handyman, a good handyman that's local. I don't know if he's watching this video. We've exchanged a few emails, but I got real busy and dropped off and stopped. But he uses proreferral.com. And one thing that really impressed me about that is, 1 is it has the backing of Home Depot. 2 is it has a background check. And unfortunately, I have to say, I have to recommend that you get a background check on your handyman. Um, that's just my experience. Um, ProReferral.com, I should approach them. You know what I'm supposed, this is a tangent here. I'm supposed to be at 40,000 subs and 500,000 views and up to 800,000 views. I'm supposed to be soliciting every day for sponsored videos. And I should probably solicit the Home Depot for ProReferral.com, but that's an end of the tangent. So this is not a sponsor. I don't have any affiliation with ProReferral.com, but I do know that they have a background check for their tradesmen. And there's handyman, there's landscapers, there's roofers, you name it. There's some sort of screening, and you get a list. The next thing I would suggest is ask your friends, ask your family, ask your neighbors, ask your co-workers. Hey, do you know a guy that can install this ceiling fan that's 16 feet high in the air? Oh, no, I do. There you go. First-hand referrals are extremely valuable to both me and you. I work hard to get those first-hand referrals. And when someone calls me because they've been referred, because I've been referred to them by someone close to them, I get the job. There is no bringing in 3 of them and getting bids and this and that. It's like, whoa, you actually know someone that you trust in your home, around your kids, your wife. What's his name? Give me his number. He's hired. Period. Done and over. Hired. So that's what I suggested. Then I told this to someone in the comments, and I feel bad for this person. They are extremely lonely. They have no friends. They have no family. They have no co-workers. And I'm like, what? I don't know what to tell you, man. It's like, where do you live? Like off-grid, and you need a handyman or something like that. Those are the 2 suggestions. A referral program that has background checks and friends, family, co-workers, and neighbors. So that kind of ends the first section of homeowners, but there are some overlapping questions in the next 2 sections. They're not really sections. The next one is a very common question that's asked by both people who are trying to get into this business, and are homeowners. Why don't you do fix and flips? And it's controversial. Jesus, is it controversial? Go look at that video on why you shouldn't buy a fix and flip and read the comments, and that's it. Go into it with an unbiased view and read all the comments. The only people who have anything good to say about fix and flips are people who are trying to make a living doing fix and flips. Realtors, with being anonymous, they'll tell you. It's in those comments. People who have bought fix and flips, holy cow, the horror stories that are in the comments. Then there's a few people, because it's anonymous, that do fix and flips. Will tell you, you know what, if you want to make money, you can't do things by the book. It's crazy. That business plan doesn't work when you do things by the book. To code, exceeding code, all the permits. The timeline doesn't work, the budget doesn't work, the numbers don't work to make money to do a fix and flip by the book. Perfect. It just doesn't work that way. That's one reason I don't do it. How about a fix and rent? That's one that I've considered, but the market I'm in right now is just way too expensive to get into a rental. I could go outside the metro area by an hour and do it. And I've thought about it. And it could be maybe a year down the road that I buy a dump. It definitely won't be around here. A dump is going to cost, like a single family dump, a half of a duplex. You got to buy the location. Location is important. but it's too much money for my blood and sweat. And that's the next thing. Is the money that I have, it does not come easy. I don't punch a time clock. I don't go to a cubicle. I don't sit down. I don't type. I bleed and I sweat every day for every dollar. And I do not give those dollars away very easy. And I don't risk those dollars very easy. So that's why I don't do the fix and flip and I haven't done the fix and rent. Pretty much because the market is just out of control. I can't afford it. Can't afford the risk. Okay. Next, this still kind of overlaps a little bit, is people who are getting into this business, who've been in it or are thinking to get into it. They're thinking about getting out of the cubicle. That's another big thing. Getting out of that damn cubicle. Man, I'd go crazy. Why don't I work alone? Why don't I have a helper? Man, right there, the person who asked the question, and this is not talking down to you, is that they have no experience managing construction. I'm a construction manager. That's what my degree is in. That's what my career is in. Until I did this handyman thing. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. But I am trying to help people, and it goes back to the stereotype of the handyman. The tradesman is just, there's a lot of sensitive people on the internet, and my goal is not to be a jerk and just start talking down on people or anything like that. So just wasn't my thing. Managing people that work in the trades, done. Not doing it anymore. Well, let's see. Why are you a handyman? That's going to be its own video. There's a huge untapped market for a professional handyman, and a couple other YouTubers that are getting into the handyman business. They're going to do great. Everybody knows them. There's, I don't know. I haven't been following. I don't watch much YouTube, but there's 3 that come to mind. You guys already know them. They do not fall into the stereotype that I'm talking about. So don't get offended. If you're here watching this, you probably don't you probably don't fall into the stereotype that I spoke about. There's extreme outliers, but on this bell curve of handyman, there's outliers. I'm an outlier. These other guys that are on YouTube that are YouTubers, they're outliers. They're not your average handyman. And that's why people are emailing me from around the country to be their handyman. That's a huge untapped market that is just, it's insane. It's so easy. Keep the tattoos off your face and your hands and you're golden. Another common question question and statement is, you are not a handyman. A handyman does not know how to TIG weld stainless steel. And I don't know if they do or don't. Because I really don't know any other handyman. Personally, I just don't. But I'm guessing that they don't. A guy commented today about me putting a Dutchman inside of a live edge slab. And that is I call it a bow tie. It's where you put a piece of wood the shape of a bow tie and you recess it into a big slab of wood, and it was just to prevent the crack from traveling. And the guy said, you're not a handyman. And whatever, I don't need labels. But how did you learn how to do all this stuff? And the answer to that is time. I started working for money in the construction industry when I was 15. My dad knows how to build everything, anything. He worked at IBM. My grandfather could build anything, and he worked for DuPont. Yeah, in a laboratory developing cellophane, but he could still build anything with his hands. So I guess it's my upbringing that there's the tools. What do you want? That? Go build it. Fix it. Broken? You fix it. I talked a little bit more in depth about this in my first question and answer. Didn't get very many views. I've been referring some people to that question and answer video, but it's time. I mean, I don't know. I think I built a dog house when I was 8, 10 years old. I didn't even have a dog. I was trying to give my parents a clue that I wanted a dog. Actually, it was before, because I think I got my first dog at 12. So it could have been like 8 years old, 8 or 9 years old. I wanted a dog, and I built a dog house out of my dad's scrap wood and finish nails. A lot of people know that I did electrical work. I did actually went to school. Forgot. Holy cow! I can't believe I forgot this. So I went to college. It wasn't a trade school. It was strictly electrical theory, and all the math and science behind not electronics electricity, but like building electricity in a shopping mall or a hospital and houses. And that got me into the electrician's apprenticeship program. So that taught me a lot. That was my first experience being on a real active construction site. And again, just time. I'm 41 years old, and I've been building things for forever, most of my life. So, and fixing things. I was an automotive junkie. I built, how many cars did I build? One? I don't know. I was in 4 or 5 cars, full restorations, frame off, motor swaps, tranny swaps. I mean, the body work, upholstery, everything. Rebuilt. I never fully rebuilt a motor, but I've assembled short blocks. I don't know how many clutches. I used to burn up some serious clutches. Not because I couldn't drive, it's because I was just dumping it at every stoplight and red light. Tons of clutches. A lot of, not a lot, several transmissions. Go with that. But I've just been mechanically inclined forever. And so someone presents a project to me that I've never done. Just a history of decades of assembling, disassembling, and fixing things. Just the mechanics that go into that just apply to a lot of other things. And that's how I can figure things out. And that's how you can figure things out. If you're young, you're 18, 19 years old, it's an evolution. You'll learn every day. Still learn every day. So what's the last thing I learned? I mean, I learn every day. Like I just built this light fixture, doing some more woodworking. And I'm not a woodworker. And just the practice and learning, angles and the straightness of wood and how those miter joints are going to line up. Don't want to go off on a tangent too much. Another common question from guys who haven't worked in the construction, why can't I say industry? It's weird. Talking to a camera is not like talking to a person. It's very weird. And it takes a while to really get your personality and the normal you to come out on camera. So, we'll try this again. From guys who have not come from the construction industry, ask, what tools should I buy? What brand? I don't think it makes a difference when you're first starting out. If you are debt-free and financially secure, sure, go out and invest in new tools. I still rarely have bought new tools. I'm trying to think of, actually, that little compound miter saw, that little Cobalt 7 1/4 or something like that. Bought that as a new tool, $99. But everything else, from this welder, I even got that welding mask at a garage sale. Everything is secondhand. My DeWalt table saw, I bought that out of some guy's pickup truck on Thanksgiving, 2 Thanksgivings ago. I'm always looking for deals on Craigslist. I don't have time anymore to go to the flea market and go to garage sales. When I was first getting started, flea markets for hand tools. All your hand tools, your hammers, your wire cutters, your anything hand tools can they don't go bad if they're decent tools, but they just lose their value. So you can fully outfit yourself with hand tools, not power tools, hand tools, at a flea market for $50. I mean, and you can get a lot for $50 at a flea market. So you get all the hand tools you could ever want. I also got my Hitachi. You may have seen it. It's in that room on a shelf. That was my first job site table saw. Got that at a flea market. It still has a price tag on it. So that's what I would suggest. Is it doesn't matter. You just need to get to work. What matters is establishing that loyal customer base. And then once you have that loyal customer base, you've got constant income, then you can go systematically upgrading your tools. That's my suggestions on what brand tools and what tools do I get first. That's another questionable one. Hand tools, and then you need cordless tools. I hardly have any plug-in tools anymore. Very rarely do I dread dragging out that damn extension cord and plugging in a tool. So a full cordless combo kit and hand tools. Another common question is about the tool trailer and tool storage. And to that, I have to say, what stage are you in your business? If you're just getting started out and you have a truck, that's all you need. I did very well with a full-size pickup truck. It was a 1998 Dodge Ram with the 360. Had the extra cab. I don't even think the doors opened. The little back door to open. It was a full 8-foot bed. I bought a used green. The truck was black. Truck cap topper. I don't know what they call it. All different things across the country. But it was the form-fitting ones, fiberglass. I knew how to do body work pretty well, so I put a nice black paint job on it, and it didn't even paint the roof. Because you'd have to be dang near 7-8 feet tall to see that high. And I put a platform across the bed, so I had 2 layers of 4x8, but actually around the wheel wells it's even wider. So the top one didn't have the wheel wells, and I had bins, Tupperware bins, just filled with tools and supplies. And if you think about it, we'll go with 4x8, but it was really more like 5 foot by 8 foot by 8 foot. So 5 feet wide by 16 feet long. You can put a lot of tools in different containers in a 5 foot wide by 16 foot long section. That's the amount of room I had in that pickup truck. Now keep in mind, I also lived on a sailboat. So I had no room to store anything. What I did is I rented a storage closet. It was like literally a fifth, maybe a sixth the size of this room, to store some things that didn't fit in the truck or tools that I rarely used. So I used a pickup truck and a very small storage unit that cost me $20 a month, something like that. And I lived on a sailboat. Hell, you could do this being homeless. You sleep in the front seat and you get started. So you don't need the tool trailer. You don't need a big box truck. You don't need a dump trailer. Those are later on down the road. The ultimate setup, what is it? It's coming. I'm still a year away. This tool trailer isn't going away. The 6x12 V-nose, for doing work in the city, I couldn't use a bigger trailer. I just couldn't get around. I couldn't get in alleys. I couldn't parallel park it. Actually, I had a video. I parallel parked my truck and trailer. I have no idea where that video went. Even an 8-foot bed in the city, like my dad does not like driving down here. He says, "Man, I got to drive through the city." He doesn't talk like that. But if you get a big, long truck and a trailer, it is not easy to maneuver. So I got plans for the ultimate work truck for the bed. And I want to give it away, but that will be the ultimate setup for remodeling. That's kind of where most of my money comes from. Handyman, you get out, you work out a station wagon, you work out anything. And that was a comment. Keep pointing at you. It's not polite. Sorry about that. Last night, guy comments on a video. Handyman are the worst of the worst. They're drunk. All the typical stereotypes. And then they work out of their car. Pulls up. Guy opens his door and beer cans fall out. And there's your handyman. He's got his tools. And I hope nobody out there is in this situation. If it is, it'll get better. Tools are in milk crates in the hatchback. I shouldn't talk like this. It's not good. But it is good for you to know that that's what you're up against. That's what the general public knows a handyman to be. And you'll get out of it if, Mr. Money Mustache and Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey's a little wacko for me, but his basic principles work, and I used them. How long ago was it? It started on the sailboat. And I could do so many videos about some from coming $100. I remember it was my last $100, and my slip fee was like $750 a month. Renting a boat slip on the beach in South Florida is not cheap. Alright, I don't know if this take is shorter than the last one. It's probably longer than 40 minutes, but I got to get it cut down. Few last minute questions for you. Is anyone interested in a live stream? That's where, of course, I don't even know how to do it. I've watched a few. Is I talk into a camera and somehow it shows up on the internet and there's a place for you to ask questions. And I read it and I answer them right there on the spot. Anyone interested in that? And if you are, give me some time to figure out how to do that. Can I do it with a GoPro? Do I got to do it with a little webcam on a laptop? I have no idea. So I think you can do it with a cell phone. The next thing I need to tell you is you have to watch tomorrow's video. You don't have to. Please watch tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video paid for the laptop. Like, it isn't even uploaded. How the heck does it pay for the laptop? You'll understand when the video starts playing. There's some really good information in there for both people who are in the handyman business and people who have a rental house, want to get into the rental business. Tomorrow's your video. But it's going to look a little weird at first. You'll be like, what the heck is going on? And it'll all come together and it'll make sense. But you know what? It got us a brand new laptop. Keep making these videos. Please like this video. Please like tomorrow's video. Please share both of them. And what else? Of course, questions, comments down below.